all the time. That's her art form.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so she we started watching it, and I was just like, oh, no, I do not understand.
And what channel's on?
That's the other issue, that we were watching it on something called...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, like one of Rousey's special sticks.
Special sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
One of his special sticks.
Yes.
Talking of special sticks, I've pressed record.
Hey!
Special stick, we're ready to go.
Hurrah! Hurrah! Hurrah!
You're looking very splendid today.
Thank you very much. I'm layering today.
You are multi-layering.
I am. This is one of my knitted toys. This is the 4th episode
Numero quattro
of the Popcorn Pundits podcast.
You're just smashing that week after week. I love it.
Till he gets to the top 10.
It's up. And what is the Popcorn podcast? Nikki.
Do you mean the Popcorn Pundits podcast?
Yes. What is it?
It is where two gentlemen
Yes.
review all the latest films in the cinema and encourage you to go to the cinema and tell you why to go.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's about right. But why should we go to the cinema?
I think we should go to cinema mainly because for the sheer joy of watching the curtains opening. I love that bit.
Yeah.
And
Depending on which cinema you're at.
Yeah, and I do like the trailers. I think the trailers are possibly sometimes better than the movies. And I think it's important to support the actors, the cinema industry, and all the confectionery that you could possibly consume.
Well, we did actually support the movies last night, didn't we?
We did.
Because I've never been to a viewing of a film where there is one long row of people
Yes.
and nobody else in the cinema. And we created that last night. It was
did.
like the human crocodile of
Not the human centipede, though.
No,
That's a different film.
We'll save that for another podcast, shall we? Yeah, absolutely.
Next week, human centipede. Shall we do a small analysis of the top 10 out at the moment
I think Peter should count them
on the
though.
20th of November,
Yeah, I'm taking control.
2023. Peter, you in charge of the numbers.
Excellent. So we're going to start at number 10, which is Anatomy of a Fall, which was one of the two films that I really wanted to review this week, and I couldn't find it on anywhere, and I found it really annoying. So I tried all of our local cinemas.
It'll come up.
I'm hoping it's going to come up soon.
Next number.
Number 9, which is Five Nights at Freddy's, which we've talked about a lot over the last few weeks.
Yep.
Number 8 is Killers of the Flower Moon,
Which we both, I adored, you liked as
No,
well.
I kind of semi-adored it. It was really good.
Okay.
Number 7 is New In, which is Kevin Bridges' The Overdue Catch-Up, which is it's a live performance of one of his comedies.
Is that a movie, James? If Taylor Swift is not a movie, is Kevin Bridges a movie?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm watching that one on my own now.
You will be. What's the next number?
Number 6 is Thanksgiving.
I think that's going to be similar to Silent Fright.
Yeah, as in like not in the top 10 next week.
Well, I might watch it.
Alright. Okay.
Isn't it similar to the Scary Movie ones, as in it's a spoof?
I think it will be a spoof, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to be more of a seasonal spoof.
Okay.
Hence Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Do you think it's for Christmas then?
Anyway, ignore her.
She's chatty today, isn't she?
She is.
Love it. Number 5 is Trolls Band Together.
Next.
I've got a nice theory about this.
What's that?
Well, I think either one or both of us should take a small child to review it.
I thought you were going to say
What,
dress
just
as a
any small
troll.
child?
Sorry?
Any small child.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure one of us can find
Ip
a small
Dip
child
Sky
to
Blue.
take.
If you'd like to get in contact with the Popcorn Pundits and volunteer your child for us to go to the cinema with, get in contact
Good
with
luck.
us via...
And pick which popcorn pundit you'd like to take. Number 4 is Saltburn. So you've been to see this, yeah?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this later.
In
Yeah?
depth. Almost as deep as holes in floors.
Well, you can see why I didn't want to chat to you about this last week.
Absolutely.
It's something we
Yes.
have to talk about.
What's the next number?
Number 3,
Yes.
Tiger 3, randomly enough.
It's an Indian Hindi language action thriller film.
Do you know what? I'm getting into those movies. I might indulge in it.
It's a 5th instalment of the YRF spy universe.
Okay.
Excellent.
Right.
Well,
Next
number 2, the other Bollywood movie that we watched last night.
Yes, the Marvels.
The Marvels. Absolutely.
There was a little Bollywood moment in there, wasn't there?
I think that, yes, we'll talk about that later.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And number...
Number 1 is The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Ah.
So that's a prequel, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a prequel. Apparently it's set 60 years before the first Hunger Games.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Kiefer Sutherland's going to be really young in it.
Yeah.
Oh no, Donald Sutherland.
Oh, well, he was Donald Sutherland.
They could ask Kiefer Sutherland to play him as a younger version.
Well, just.
Now
Yes.
you've done your top 10, you also need to probably introduce yourselves,
Oh,
which
yes.
you forgot to do.
She's like a taskmaster. I quite like her. I'm James Michael Mulcrone. Who are you?
I'm Peter Ungar.
And who are you?
Nikki.
Right.
That wasn't really worth it, was
No,
it?
but you'd forgot to do it
Oh, yeah.
for our lovely
We
listeners.
should write this stuff down,
We should
shouldn't
do,
we?
shouldn't we? What order shall we? So I've seen 3 films this week. You've seen?
I've seen 3 films this week. You've seen 4 films this week.
Oh, at least 4 films this week.
Yeah.
So we've got Saltburn,
Yeah, I think
The
we should
Marvels.
talk about
I think you
Saltburn
should start with
first.
The
Saltburn.
Nightmare Before Christmas, and 12 Monkeys.
So I went to see Saltburn last week on a preview at the Everyman Cinema in Morris.
Yes.
And I really wished you'd come with me.
So do
I think we should still go and watch this film together because
Oh my lordy.
it is a cinematic eyeful. It's an explosion.
Massively. Yeah, it has to be seen at the cinema.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I mean, apparently the ratio of the film itself is set up perfectly for portraits and for architecture as well.
4:3, yeah.
Exactly, 4:3, and the director is Emerald.
What is it?
Emerald something.
Emerald Fennell.
Yes, just totally beautiful, aesthetically, just absolutely jaw-smackingly beautiful cinematography.
You know who Emerald Fennell is?
Yes.
So she's the daughter of Theo Fennell, who was like one of the most renowned jewellers of our generation. So
I did not know that.
Yeah. So he was Elton John's like main jeweller.
Really?
And he was
That's a nice connection with you then, isn't it?
Yeah, I know him quite well. But he's but anyway, so he's an absolutely theatrical jewellery manufacturer,
Really?
and everything is over the top beyond belief. And
Mhm.
like beautiful pieces, but nothing of normal kind
No.
of. Which is very much like this film was.
I mean, even the opening credits. Forget about the beautiful building of Saltburn itself. I'd call it a manor. Would you call it a manor? Or,
A mansion.
Yeah, a mansion or a great hall or whatever. Anyway, yeah, mansion is a good description. But even the typography of the Saltburn title was fantastic.
Apart from the fact that I thought it was called Salzburg, and when we were watching the trailers before we actually went to see it.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of Terry Gilligan, the way that he does things with animation, the way he'd draw things. So had that very sort of almost medieval-esque typeface to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. So go on, give us a brief synopsis of what you saw, and then we can delve into some finer points of the film.
Okay, if you haven't seen Saltburn before and you want to show you a small taste of what it is, these are the basic facts I consider to be the basic facts that I've seen. So, young chap gets a scholarship to read at Oxford, comes down from up north, where apparently Liverpool is in the sea, apparently up north, as depicted in the movie. And this character goes, it's Oliver, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oliver comes from Liverpool all the way down south to Oxford to read at Oxford. He clocks the sociable group that he wants to be involved with within Oxford. Particularly one individual becomes incredibly obsessed with the idea of actually becoming their friends. Gets into company with them, only to realise he's completely out of his depth when it comes from a social point of view. Particularly when they invite him to their house in Saltburn.
Yes. Well, the house is called Saltburn.
Yeah, exactly. Mother and father are obviously the reasons why the children are so incredibly insane, and to me it was, and I'll carry on with the synopsis. He gets in company with him. He gets invited to Saltburn. The fun starts to begin with he becomes obsessed with the lifestyle there, and then the story continues in a slightly different direction, which I don't want to give too much away.
It's how much to talk about it, isn't
Exactly.
it? That's the thing. So what I thought about it was that it was a multitude of love affairs in multiple directions.
Really?
Throughout the entire movie, there was an obsession of someone about someone else.
See, I didn't think that way at all about it.
But as soon as you get to a point where
I see where you're coming from. Yeah,
the
sorry.
love affair is then at a certain point, and then it flips on its head, and all of a sudden it means nothing anymore. And that was portrayed over and over again in the movie. I mean, so Richard E. Grant. I mean, what a performance! I mean, you mentioned last week that you thought he was an
older version of
with nail character.
Yes, and I think I nailed it even for watching it. To be honest with you.
Absolutely right. And I just loved the way that he was this lovely guy that was really embracing. Bring everyone in.
Yes.
Bring them. Let's have a party.
Yeah, we're all friends here.
That's it. 200 people. Is that enough?
Exactly.
That'd be okay.
Yeah, do you want some more cake?
As soon as it doesn't go the way he wants it to go, they aren't in the house anymore.
No,
and
exactly.
And I just thought that was wonderful.
He was like the executioner of the evening, wasn't he? So in the middle of the night, if you weren't fitting in with the crowd for whatever reason it may be, if you were called to his office, you knew you were leaving the estate.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, but possibly with a larger paint bag.
First thing in the morning before anyone else woke up.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, it was a class struggle. To me, it was a big sort of two fingers up to the to me, it was a character fornicating with a different class struggle out of angst and hatred.
Yeah. Okay. So when I walked out, the first thing that I thought was it was very much in the ilk of like a Dangerous Liaisons. It's that kind of poor folk, rich folk, and then the aspirations of the poor wanting to have what the entitled have, and his pursuit of it. And Oliver was basically a character that when you first met him, you felt uncomfortable for him.
You almost felt sorry for him.
Yeah,
almost.
But then he had this incredible power in silence, which I think is a wonderful thing. And as the movie goes on, you realise that actually he's not the shy character that you first assumed that he was. And even like right at the beginning, when he ditches the other nerdy guy.
Yeah.
And I think what a fantastic actor he was, by the way. That was absolutely brilliant. Like a cameo, but my word.
It was. It just slipped in there and you just thrown away to one
and
side.
it just randomly pops up.
And I think that's a testament how good the movie was that you've got this incredible actor at the beginning who just plays this slightly nerdy role from the side, and he thinks, this could be quite interesting. And he just thrown away to one side.
Yeah.
Without even thinking about it.
But then when they get to Saltburn,
yes,
Oliver's like a sexual sniper. He basically goes around the family.
Yes.
Like one. So I thought the movie was going.
Yes. That
he was going to start an affair with the mother, with Rosamund Pike, because they sit outside and there's this sexual tension between the two of them, and it's like, oh my word! I didn't think that was going to happen, and I won't say whether it does happen or doesn't happen. But I mean, the sexual encounters of the main character.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have thought they would be the sexual encounters.
Not in any shape at all.
Two of them with inanimate objects.
What class is as a sexual sniper?
A sexual sniper is someone that is basically standing on a clock tower and using their sexual prowess to
take people out.
Take people out one at a time. That's exactly what it was.
Just with sexual prowess, not guns or anything.
I think he was using sensuality and sex as a tool for manipulation. Gigantically.
100%, because he's referred to as this one's good this year. Like they do it on an annual basis. Exactly. They bring a geek or a pauper to Saltburn to kind of mock.
That's right.
But
there's a very interesting line in it where the sister turns around to Oliver at one point and she goes, I can see why he likes you because you're so real, you see. And I think
I'm a real boy.
Exactly, but I think that sums the movie up because he's not.
No, he's not.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
And I think I've been looking at him as an actor for quite some time now, and he's been working up the ranks slowly but surely now, and he's obviously under the wing of Colin Farrell, and I think it's his best movie ever. I think it's really proved to everybody what a completely gigantically multi-layered character he can play without hardly saying anything. I mean, because his script was quite low when it comes to talking. There's lots of Richard E. Grant. There's lots of everybody else just chat.
Very few words.
Yes.
Difficult for you to imagine.
Absolutely, 100%. Particularly the last scene.
Yeah, wow, that's a thing. Murder on the Dance Floor. Not one of my favourite tracks ever.
Not
to
in
be
any,
totally honest
but
with you.
I did enjoy it at the time.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yes.
I bet you did.
Yes,
But yeah,
absolutely.
I'll never be able to unsee
Yes.
that final scene when I hear that song ever again.
Absolutely. Now, I would also like to throw in the mix Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gigantically. I mean, to me, it is like a modern day version, a British modern day version of the Talented Mr. Ripley, but extreme. I mean, modern day. I thought Talented Mr. Ripley was incredibly clever, and it was quite dark and twisted. This takes it to another level on so many levels.
So there's a car journey in this film.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
a car journey that starts off as a joyous thing between
Two mates.
who are going on this fantastic adventure where one of them doesn't know what's going on, and as they go further into this journey,
One of them realises where they're going.
yeah, the mood changes quite significantly.
Yes.
And the result is
Well, it's the journey back that's more
Pointless.
interesting.
No spoilers, boys.
No spoilers. and I have to say, I think this is one of these films where we're desperately trying to tell the listeners details and information about the film, but we're also desperately not trying to ruin anything because there's so many
I
fantastic.
don't think we've said anything.
No, thank goodness.
That would which would
That'd be a
upset
grave
people.
mistake.
It would be a grave mistake.
Does the boat sink at the end?
Is there enough room for what was your quote you said the other day?
Jack.
Oh,
Yeah.
Leonardo.
No, Jack on the door.
I give it 9.4.
Ooh.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
You've
How-
gone straight in with a big bang.
That's
of
a
score.
big
Because,
number.
honestly, I am obsessed with this film
But why wasn't it 10 then?
because it did deserve a 10.
Fair.
There you go.
Why not?
Oh,
What would have made it the 10?
Well, let's see what Pete's score is first.
Okay. 2.
I think it's a really difficult film to score because
Yes.
I don't think it's as good as Dangerous Liaisons.
Oh, really?
I don't. I think that is the pinnacle of this type of genre of film,
Okay.
and there have been a number of films like this with this kind
Would you
of.
say it's better than Talented Mr. Ripley then?
I think it's on a par with that. I think it is a high score. I mean, it's going to be my first 8.
Just
Ooh.
8?
It's an 8.
Straight
And
up.
Okay.
I'll explain why, and you
Yes,
can
please.
ask me the question in a minute.
Okay.
It's an 8 for me because it was a more of a visual explosion
Right.
than it was a dialogue ran film, if that makes sense. I think there could have been more that happened.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about films because we're trying to encourage people to go to the cinema, a strong 8 from me would come with the suggestion that if you haven't been to the cinema for a long time, this is the film that you should start with.
Okay.
So, I mean, we watched Killers of the Flower
We
Moon.
did.
That's not a reintroduction to the cinema if you haven't been
No,
for a long time.
you need to be a seasoned film watcher, I think.
Absolutely right. This is the explosion visually
Yeah.
and in every possible way
Yeah.
that you want as a movie.
I agree, and I'd like to add something to that. I think this film, I think, will actually reignite people's love for films they didn't expect to like.
Yeah, and also on a big
Like that.
screen. You know, this is the thing. I mean, watching a film like that where you're in a dark room
Yes.
and it's a massive image and you're encased in sound. It's a wonderful thing. It was a wonderful thing.
Two things to take away, I think, from if you're listening, is that there are 2 scenes. There is one particular scene. Okay, there are several scenes that are just incredible, but there's one particular scene where the entire audience, and I was in quite a full cinema. The entire audience gasped and then laughed in a really nervous way for about 30 seconds, and then they just became obsessed with looking at this image that almost went on too long. So yes,
And that wasn't even when he was watching him wanking in the bath.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
So think about it that way.
Brilliant.
So that gives us 17.4.
If we divide that by 2.
Yes, you go for it.
Nicky.
It is 12.7.
What?
No, it's not.
What? Divide 17.4 divided by 2.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not.
How's that work?
We'll come back to you on that.
Yeah,
Hang
exactly.
on.
8 points.
Divided by 2.
Yeah.
8.7.
Thank you
It's
very
because
much.
I didn't do the equals.
Did you add
Right.
your own 4 in?
Yeah, I did, yeah. So how are we going to up our scores then?
How would you make it a 10.
How would I make
Or
it
even a
10?
point.
I tell you what, just before we add, I'm a heterosexual man.
I'm using that as a soundbite
Yeah,
for
me
the rest
too.
of my life.
But I left the cinema not sure that I was, because I have never seen such a beautiful man in my entire
Isn't he?
life, photographed in a
Yes.
way that made me just stare. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if he was in soft focus, but I made him in soft focus.
Wow, probably for the book. You're probably squinting through rose-tinted glasses, I think.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I agree.
Um,
Handsome man.
Just beautiful.
Every inch of him.
Just beautiful man, beautiful movie.
Exactly.
Do you know what? It is what it is, Nikki. Again, there's no improvement to this one.
Okay.
I think he could have made it longer. I really did. I think.
Are we still talking
yeah.
about the film? Or
When you watch the film, you'll find that comment funny.
It was quite long enough.
Well, it was
again, are we talking about the
It
film?
was mentioned in the grass, wasn't it? When he turned around, he went, "Well, that was a."
That's an unexpected surprise.
Exactly. However, well, he's a very talented actor in so many ways. However, he's never going to fall over. Anyway, so I would like to have made it longer, and I would like to have padded out, for instance, the characters of the parents a tiny bit more.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I don't think they could have made it any better. I think sterling job, well done.
Well done, yeah, because if they padded it out, it would have been too long.
Yep.
Because there was a lot of cinematic.
Can we stop saying long now, please?
Yeah. Right,
Beautiful.
next.
Should we talk homework?
Yeah, let's talk homework.
'Cause I'm not very happy with you, James.
Okay then. Nikki, would you like to let us know what homework we set each other last week?
You set each other some films.
We
Peter,
did.
what film did James set you?
I was set a film called Swim Fan,
Okay.
which
Is that why you're not happy with him?
It's exact because I thought I'd seen this last week when you mentioned it, and the reason I thought I'd seen it
Yeah.
was because as soon as I got it up on my TV screen, I remembered the typeface,
Right.
and I was just like, no, I didn't see this at the time, and I can't remember why I didn't, because it's like the type of thing that I would have watched.
Yeah.
And it's honestly the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and I don't understand why you would want me to waste 2 hours of my life watching this
You'd
thing.
wonder why, wouldn't you?
You would wonder.
It was like
It's not like me at all, is it?
No.
you have moments of meanness, but this was exceptional. I mean, it was the worst script ever. It was the worst casting ever.
Yeah.
Every time there was an event,
Right.
they would zoom in
Right.
on the thing that was about to be used
Yeah.
in the next scene of someone's death.
Would you like to give us a small synopsis?
I don't really. Yeah, okay. So basically, there is
The swim-
the blue-eyed boy
Yes.
in an American school
Yes.
who was historically had problems with drugs and,
Right.
then solved all his problems and
Right.
now was the star swimmer,
Nice.
and he's doing really well at school. Everything's going the right way. There are scouts coming to watch him swim. I mean, this is all being set up like in a "Where is she?"
Yes.
There was a "Where is she?" She's about to turn up, and lo and
Exactly.
behold, this not attractive enough
They
actress
didn't
turns up.
disappoint you.
They didn't disappoint. Well, they did disappoint me an awful lot.
Right.
This woman, this girl turns up,
Yes.
and basically his life changes.
Right. Female character arrives.
And he's accused of no one watched this. Nobody watched this film ever. So I'm just going to destroy the plot. Basically, she then dopes his blood or urine, so
Right.
he gets done for drug abuse.
Nice.
He's kicked off the swim team.
Right.
And then it just goes downhill from there, and
Okay.
his life falls apart. And
It's about Muriel's wedding.
It's honestly, James.
I love Muriel's
I love-
wedding.
Yeah, I love Muriel's wedding. And
You are awful.
So why don't you love
Mario.
this film?
It's
It's
shocking. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you told me all about the film, and I'm glad you told me, what happened in it and so on, because I've never seen it before.
James has a slight confession to make.
Why? What happened?
I got the film completely wrong. I have requested for you to watch a film I've never seen before under the pretext I've seen it before because I got it completely wrong.
James.
Yes, I know. I'm such a git.
Why-
In fact, I realised it one night because I tell you what it was. I was sitting at home with the boss, and I said, and she turned around and said, "What film did you ask Peter to watch?" and I said, I asked them to watch Swim Fan, and she said, you've never seen that. And I said, yes, I have. It's that one we really liked at the cinema. And she went, no. She said, I understand why you said Swim Fan, and she said, I understand with your beautiful dyslexic brain why you said it. The film you should have seen, and the film I'm going to ask you to go and see, is Infinity Pool.
I mean, it's pretty much potato, but
it's all water related.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you're going to go and see another film about pools.
I was furious.
I know you were.
I was honestly.
I love that you watched. Did you watch it the whole way through though?
I'm an A-star student. I am going to get the whole way through this
What,
thing.
you read the whole reading list?
I was honestly fuming. Like 3/4 of the way through, I was just like, it's like Neighbours. It's so bad.
I'm so glad you took one for the team because I'm never going to watch it.
But the greatest thing is that James discovered it quite early in the week as well. So
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I know what film I'm going to suggest for you this week.
Well,
Taylor Swift.
You asked me to watch 12 Monkeys.
I did.
Now, you asked me to watch 12 Monkeys off the back of us talking about David Fincher, and you said that's the baby. Well, it's actually Terry Gilligan.
Okay.
Who directed it? Because you could really see from the Brazil moments in it, and it's just. If you haven't watched 12 Monkeys, it's a dystopian, beautiful piece of filmmaking, and it's set in the future, starring Bruce Willis and crazy Brad Pitt, who's a joy to watch in it. He really is. Mind you, so is Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis plays Bruce Willis as you would expect him to do. And so the idea is set in the future. There's the world has been collapsed through some sort of virus, weirdly, and then Bruce Willis is being set a challenge to find where the virus has come from using several teleportation devices that bring you back into the future, back into the past, to find out where the virus has come from, and then you meet younger versions of different people that are relevant in the story later on. It's a beautiful Terry Gilligan movie. It's so surreal in its moments, particularly in the future moments. There's lots of latex and lots of bizarre sort of appendages coming out of different bits and bobs, which is set but that's what happens in the future apparently.
Like Saltburn.
Just like Saltburn. Just really long ones though. I totally adore this film. I really adore this film, and I think it's one of those films that's going to set the testament of time. If you haven't seen 12 Monkeys, rent it, buy it. It's not available on any streaming platforms at the moment. I had to rent it.
Yeah, it's a rental.
But I definitely recommend it. I give it a strong 8.5.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Absolutely.
I think the rental was 99p or 1.99. It wasn't expensive rental,
exactly.
But it's definitely worth a rent.
And it hasn't aged. It is beautiful. It is really. It's very clever film. It's very cleverly written. Definitely recommend it. Anyway,
Awesome.
Carry on.
Very good.
Right, what next?
Whether James has eaten at the cinema this week.
Ah.
Well, we went last night.
We did.
Yeah, and
I bought my own snack along.
You did, yeah,
I did.
absolutely. I mean, I tried to find another Marmite-based snack. I couldn't find
Yeah.
it.
Good.
So I'm really sorry. So he had a cinema classic actually.
I did.
It was popcorn with a packet of M&Ms tipped into it.
And do you know where that's been inspired from?
A film.
Yep. Guess what film it's inspired from? A film that I'm going to ask you to watch in the future.
Is it Swim Fan?
No, it's Whiplash.
Is this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
What's the reference with Whiplash then?
When the son character, you know, he goes to the cinema with his dad as a bonding experience.
Yeah.
And they have a box of
Do
popcorn.
you mean Whiplash?
Whiplash.
It's going to turn around to be something else, like car crash, isn't it?
Yeah, it is some crash. It's Whiplash, and they're at the cinema and they're watching the movie because he meets a girl at the cinema because she's working behind the counter in the cinema, and the dad has a classic where he's a box of popcorn and you throw the M&Ms in or other chocolate flavoured devices are available. Devices? Why is an M&M device?
It was numbers last week.
Yes.
What will it be next week?
It's a fantastic snack. I use sweet and salted popcorn with peanut M&Ms.
Okay, and I guess the important question for Peter is how loud is it on a scale of 1
I
to 10?
didn't even know who was there half the time. It was actually brilliant. Actually, my son was on the other side, and he was eating some really super sour sweets, which are really good.
So a recommended movie snack if you're going with James.
Yeah, all
popcorn
of those,
and M&M devices.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So I'm asking you to watch Infinity Pool. I want you to report back to me. Okay, now
This
I want.
had better be the right movie.
And in fact, if you can, send me a voice mail.
Yes.
Okay, as soon as you finish watching it.
Okay.
Short one, just a short one, maybe with 3 words that you've been inspired by, and we see with our technical magician can add it to our podcast.
Well, the ones after Swim Fan would have been
What the fuck?
I'm sure it would have been worse than what the fuck.
Yes, exactly. So what are you recommending for me?
So I'm using this as a
get back.
No,
Yes.
actually the opposite. I'm using this as the opportunity to enrich your life.
Oh, baby.
Ah,
And this film
Coldplay.
is it's one of those films that as soon as I watched it, I started streaming the soundtrack and have done
really?
ever since. And it's one of those things that sometimes if I go for a long walk or if I'm working in the shop and I just want something real pick me up.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is brilliant.
It's not a Coldplay concert or something.
Is it Coyote Ugly?
It should be. Actually, it's Coyote Ugly. No. It's the film Chef.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've seen it or not.
No, I don't think
Hopefully you
I.
have.
So who's it starring?
It's a Jon Favreau film.
Okay.
And he's actually in front of camera rather than behind it.
Okay.
And he's basically he plays a very well reviewed chef, Michelin-starred chef.
Right.
And very early on in the movie, it all goes very badly wrong because of a reviewer who comes to rate him, and he doesn't like his food. And Jon Favreau doesn't like the review, and he ends up getting fired. And then basically he sets up a food truck, and it's partly about setting up a food truck, but it's also about the relationship between father and son.
Nice.
And it is a beautiful road trip movie.
Okay.
And it's kind of it's a 2014 film, which basically it was at the start of social media becoming a massive part of a new business, which I know in your business is a really, really big part of what you do. And I thought the kid could show you how to do it properly.
Let's do it. I will report back.
It stars Robert Downey Jr., Sofia Vergara, Scarlett Johansson, Dustin Hoffman, and many others.
Yeah,
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. I like the sound of that. And who's in Infinity Pool? I think it's one of the Skarsgård brothers are in the Infinity Pool.
Sorry, Swim Fan, did you say?
Yeah, that's right. Crash.
And you do know that Whiplash is a film about drumming?
Yes, I
Okay,
totally adore that movie.
I just want to check.
So the cast is Mia Goth,
Yes.
Amanda Brugel, Alexander I can never say his name, Skarsgård,
Yes.
John Ralston, and Caroline Bolton, and many others.
2022, isn't it?
It is, I believe, 2023 actually, it says
So it's
here.
a relevant new movie that if you haven't seen it,
It was released on 27th of Jan in Canada.
it's available on.
Now TV, YouTube, Google Play, and Amazon Prime.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Good.
Good knowledge, Nikki.
Thanks. You
So,
just call me Google.
So last night we went to the cinema and we watched the
Marbles.
number 2, the second most popular film in the UK at the moment.
Yes.
What did you think?
I don't want to talk about it.
Not at all.
Apart from cats eating people, and that's about.
Oh, cute.
That's about it.
Okay, so shall I do a synopsis?
I think
so-
if you keep it really short,
Really
because
short.
quite frankly, I don't want to relive it.
Okay, so it is about basically the scene opens with a young Indian girl in her bedroom.
Yes.
And she's drawing cartoons,
That's right.
and she's basically obsessed by Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And
Mind you, we were last night as well for about 30 seconds. We were.
we can understand why she's obsessed with Captain Marvel. And she's drawing herself as a superhero and referring to herself as Ms. Marvel, and that she wants to be twinnies with Captain Marvel.
She wants to be mates with
Yeah,
Captain Marvel.
and she.
I mean,
has
who
reason-
doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. But she has reasons to be able to wish that because she's wearing a bangle amulet which gives her special powers,
She does.
superpowers, and And then there is a third character in this, which was the niece of Captain Marvel.
That's right. She's the daughter of her best friend, isn't
Exactly
she?
right. Yeah, and calls her auntie. And she has also.
She's called Rambo.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
Yeah, and she develops superpowers by walking through a Wibble window or something. And
That's right. That's exactly what it was called. It was called a Wibble window. Yeah.
I've got no idea.
And it didn't wobble.
No.
Or fall down.
So basically, this is a film which happens apparently after we needed to have seen about 10 series of Marvel TV programs, which I haven't seen any of them of, and it basically made no sense whatsoever.
We didn't have the relevant information, did we?
No, it was.
We did the backup of stock.
Or one of my kids talking to me, telling me about what was going on, and even my son was just like, "That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what's going on." And but yeah, anyway, so they go on an adventure.
Yes.
And should we just say that this film has probably the worst ever seen in the Marvel series, and also probably one of the best ever scenes from a Marvel movie.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
So when they started Bollywood singing, and in a world
in a really bad way.
Yeah, in a world where they can only understand each other if they're
sing
singing. And as soon as they said that, I was like, I want to leave. It was horrific, absolutely shocking, and it was done with a Bollywood twang, wasn't it? And there was kind of like
it was trying to find itself funny. It wasn't taking itself seriously, but it just wasn't funny.
But however, forget that scene, because the best escape scene in a movie I've ever seen ever, where humans were saved by octopus cats.
Yes, if you ever want to get off a spaceship and there's too many of you to fit inside the pod, make sure you've got some felines with you.
Dare I ask what an octopus cat is? Is it a cat that's an octopus or an octopus that's a cat?
Yes.
Okay.
Both. You choose, because the cat didn't even know, or the octopus.
It was honestly epic. It was what we sat through the whole film to literally just watch this one moment of cinematic genius.
It was actually quite clever. To me, it was a very Star Trek moment. I can imagine that scene being in a Star Trek episode or in a Star Trek movie.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I just loved it because I've never seen anything like it.
No, I think it's very unique.
And it was almost like they had to make a film around
this
one
particular thing.
Brilliant idea, because it's the only one that
the rest of it was garbage.
Absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
So 10 out of 10.
Yeah, for that one scene.
I give it 4.3.
Did I score swim fan?
I don't know actually.
I don't think I did.
Mine 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to give swim fan a 2.
Okay. What are you going to give Marvels?
I'm going to give it a
2.1.
4.5.
Wow, more higher than mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. Because I woke up in the morning and I actually thought it was quite pretty and colourful.
It was pretty. So that's the average score for that is 4.4 then. Okay.
And there's no point me asking how you'd make it better, is there?
Just don't make it. Now I went to the 30th year anniversary of The Nightmare Before Christmas. 30 years.
That's blown my mind, actually.
Yeah,
so
I can see you looking at me.
I went to see it, and then when you said 30th year, I went, what's he talking about now? That can't be.
Exactly. I could feel you were just about to go, what? You're talking rubbish.
Yeah.
Bullcrone.
Yeah.
30 years.
Peter doesn't swear.
When was the last time you saw it?
30 years ago.
No, I mean, I think you pretty much watch it every festive season. What I love about this film, and I've always loved about this film, you can't watch a Christmas movie until December the 1st because that's just against the law. But you can watch A Nightmare Before Christmas between Halloween and Christmas because it's the perfect it's a perfect bridge between Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with that. And
I agree. I am in complete agreement.
Yeah, I think that's fine. And then it has
What's
to
this?
Be, and
What's
then
this?
And then it has to be Die Hard after that, doesn't it?
100%.
Is that how he dances?
Yeah. I could say
great. It's a
I could say
podcast.
good chat, couldn't I?
You could actually.
But the animation in it is the stopgap animation, and it was a 3D version of it as well. I've never seen a 3D version at the cinema.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was a little bit concerned because usually 3D is just a bit of a gimmick, and you got like spears coming at the end, and you go ooh, and then it just tracks away from the movie itself. But because it was stopgap animation. Yeah,
is it stop take?
I'm just anyway, whatever it's called. It worked really, really well because of the 3D imagery with it and the fairy lights going on in the place and skeleton bones flying all over the place and so on and so forth. And I love the musical element of it. I know all the songs and the Boogie Woogie Man, and I just totally. When's the last time you watched it?
I think it was probably about 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So actually, a lot of people call it stop motion animation, but it's also known as stop frame animation.
Stop frame. Thank you very much. Now, I always assumed that it was directed by Tim Burton, but it wasn't. It was only produced by him. I mean, it's got Tim Burton all over it. It's like he's thrown up.
Who directed it then?
Somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Not Tim Burton.
That's half knowledge. That's fantastic.
Exactly.
I like that. Somebody else.
Okay, so quick question for you. Is it worth while going to the cinema to watch a Christmas movie?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. And I tell you the reason why. Because to me, the perfect scenario for me to go and see a Christmas movie is that it's cold outside. It doesn't have to be snowing
again.
It doesn't have to be snowing.
Oh, God, don't start him off.
It doesn't have to be snowing, but it has to be cold. And you have to make a bit of an effort to go to the movie, and you have to go with somebody else. And to me, it's just that added magic of Christmas. I mean, at the Moor Crone HQ, we will watch a Christmas movie every day in December.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all the way through December, and we make an effort to watch, whether it be at the cinema or at home. So, and there's usually a toss-up between what do we start with, Elf or Die Hard.
Santa's coming to town.
So we do this differently because we do it almost like an advent calendar.
Ooh.
And the 24th is Elf.
That's what we usually hold back.
Yeah.
However, I do know that the cinema this year is showing it. So that might be the first one. And I might flip it.
Okay.
And I might make Die Hard.
You could just bring Christmas forward to make sure that it's the day after watching Elf.
Yeah, let's just move the day Jesus was born.
Yeah, I think that's easier.
Nightmare Before Christmas was directed by Henry Selick, who is also known for Coraline and James and the Giant Peach.
And Magnum P.I.
Yes, exactly. Massive moustache. And helicopters.
Isn't that Tom Selleck?
Yeah.
Love it.
I love it.
Yeah, so we had the discussion the other evening about whether it's the right thing to do to go as a family to watch a Christmas movie.
And what was the discussion?
Well, everyone in my family said that it was, and I didn't think that it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's you, though, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe it's me being a bit of a Scrooge. I don't know.
Scrooge, you like the way you did that? Yeah.
It's not even December yet.
I think we definitely do need to do a top 24, and we need to decide between the three of us what order those Christmas movies go in, and then we submit it to our listeners.
Are we going together?
Not always, but I think we need to produce that list.
Definitely.
And then
see if people agree.
And then throw it at people, splay it all over them.
Okay, we'll do that. 100%.
Reject it all over our listeners.
However, we also have to remember to watch non-Christmas movies over the next few weeks as well, because again, there is a lot of good stuff coming out.
I'm very, very excited, and thank goodness the Writer Strike's over.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've clearly finished a lot since, because there is a load of good stuff out.
Yes.
So what are we going to see this week?
I was just about to ask the same thing.
Thank you very much. At the cinema, I've booked tickets going to see Napoleon for Sunday night. I'm going up north on Saturday night, not to Liverpool, not by the sea, but I'm going up north on Saturday night, coming back Sunday, and I'll be watching Napoleon Sunday night. So if you want to come and join me, you're more than welcome.
I'll definitely
join you up north.
It looks epic.
Well, apparently, the boss at home explained to me that this has been reviewed already as a dad movie.
Okay.
Now, and I said to Sophie, "What's a dad movie?" Okay. And it makes complete sense. It's a genre that I never really thought about. You call it a dad movie. Dad movie is Gladiator.
Yeah.
It's Braveheart.
What day would you watch Braveheart on, James?
Every day.
Oh.
That's a very good question.
That's a good
Maybe
question.
Wednesday?
No.
To get through the hump of the week?
He only watches movies on Fridays and Sundays.
Yeah, I know. We've only done Friday, Sunday so far.
I think it has to be a Thursday night movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a Thursday night movie.
Well, they say Thursday's the new Friday.
So run up to the weekend. So apparently it's a classic dad movie with lots of epic battles, lots of epic speeches. You know, we shall overcome, blah blah blah. One or two little sexy moments in it as well.
Brie Larson in a white vest.
And a cat.
In a white vest.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Okay.
Not too sure what other movies there are out at the moment.
So I would still like to try and see Anatomy of a Fall.
So would I.
And Dream Scenario, but I haven't been able to see
Absolutely.
either of those two yet. So
Okay,
I
well-
don't know whether we're going to have to wait for them to stream or whether we can find someone that's going to show them in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so you're going to be watching Infinity Pool. I'm going to be watching Chef, and we're going to be watching Napoleon. So that's 3 good movies to be talking about anyway.
And what about Hunger Games?
Definitely a Sunday movie. Sunday afternoon.
Did you mean as in watching it, or when's it?
Either or.
Are you going to watch it, James?
I might not watch it this week. I might watch
Okay.
it next week on Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
So I think we're finished. Isn't it?
Well, actually, we have
Oh,
an
the
announcement to
cutting-
make,
the
don't
cutting
we?
room floor.
No. Well, this isn't the cutting room floor. People can now follow you, can't they?
How can they follow us, Nikki?
On Instagram,
And what's the Instagram name?
the Popcorn Pundits.
It's not.
It is. I know.
It's
Shock.
clever.
So yes, if they want to maybe recommend a film,
Please
or
do.
agree or disagree with opinions, or
We'll be adding the link to our Instagram on this podcast.
we will.
And
Or if
we'll-
they want to review the Swim Fans film, you never
Exactly.
know.
If you'd like to comment on any of our reviews, any feedback at all, and also we will be obviously documentating our visits to the cinema in our Instagram as well.
Yes.
Documentating.
What did
I wasn't
say?
going to say it.
What did I say? Documentating.
Yeah.
Still
What's wrong with that?
Documenting.
Documentating.
Okay.
Anyway,
That's
On
a good
that
place to
note,
end.
yeah.
so that's the end of.
The Popcorn Pundit.
Podcast.
Yay. Both do a thumbs up for me for a second, please. Okay, no.